Hello, hello. What's up, my Gemini friends? How are you guys doing? So, welcome to your July tarot reading. I'm very sorry for the delay. I'm here now. Ooh. What is there to say for Gemini? We can't seem to escape this Nine of Swords this month. Pretty much every reading I've done so far has had a tinge of drama attached to it. Some more minor than others. But there's also been this very contradictory element to the readings as well for July, in the sense that a person may encounter surprise elements that catches them off guard, which can be seen as somewhat of a, not necessarily negative, but disruptive situation. However, this disruption leads to a blissful state of sorts, a sense of harmony, agreement, and some sort of satisfaction. And there is also indulgence in certain pleasures, or overindulgence in some people's cases. I wouldn't say that that's the case here at all. And in fact, to be honest with you, Gemini, it seems to be like there's a lot of action happening behind the scenes that you may not even be aware of. I like that your cards are coming out in groups. Behind the scenes being events that are much larger than you. So the grand scheme of things really seem to be really not okay, I want to say suffering from a warfare, because I cannot deny that this Nine of Swords does induce some form of suffering, usually mental torture, that pain that can only be described as physical, but is really actually just emotional pain that never seems to go away. You know how fresh wounds, metaphorically speaking, sometimes can be a lot more painful than physical injuries. So the Nine of Swords is really, to me, that state of purgatory, really. Mental suffering, basically, on that level. And in combination with, I haven't even shown you the Tower card yet. And this Judgment card here, nestled next to the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So what an intense row. Seriously, what an intense row here. Can I consider this past energy? A culmination of events, a series of unfortunate events in the past, what it's all led up to. Basically, right now it feels like Gemini is on the precipice, but again, this precipice, this sense of urgency and Well, there's like a sense of something impending, really. But as I said, this might not be something that's really made very, very aware to you. At least that's the feeling that I'm getting. To some degree, this might sound a bit silly, but it's almost as though the universe understands that you've gone through a bit too much this past year, actually. So I'm not just talking about 2017, but I'm talking about the latter half of 2016 having been super emotional, heavy. There was a lot of loss and death for some of you. Sickness and seeing people suffer through certain illnesses, losing loved ones over illnesses, financial loss. There's just been a lot, basically, that Gemini has had to endure. Seriously, a lot. And to see that it's somewhat being dealt with on an energetic level here with the Judgment card and the Tower card, bringing things to a head and saying, this is the ultimate finality of a pentacle, really, actually. So a pentacle is around 9 years of a person's life, if I'm not mistaken, a pinnacle. And it often signifies a karmic stage as well. You can look into this more through numerology, actually, if any of you are interested in discovering what your pinnacles are, the life paths that are emphasized, or elements of your life path that are emphasized more during certain pinnacles. So in your early teen years, for example, leading up to adolescence and then adulthood and then later adulthood, treat it like another way of understanding a Saturn return. Only this is slightly different than that. People go through spiritual pinnacles. People go through self-discovery ones. Others go through pinnacles that suggest that they will grow to achieve fame. So every arena and channel that you dedicate in your life in that span of years will indicate how well you really prosper in your later life. So, but there are often choices as well that we make which can drastically change the outcome of our own personal situations. And it just seems, though, in July, that for some of you, these major events can involve the law, some form of administration here with the Hierophant. But this can actually also be talking about a marriage, tying the knot, like really tying the knot, huh? With a loved one, someone you've known for a very, very long time, someone whose flow of love towards you and back and forth, it just seems to be endless. So this beautiful chain here of events, it's a much lighter feel than what's going on up here. It is absolutely beautiful. This is kind of like the replenishment that you need, the nutrients that you've been lacking, like the nutrients of life in that sense. Relationship, passion, commitment, real commitment, actual commitment here, which I really like. How this all ties into this karmic flow of events, I'm not entirely sure, Gemini, to be quite frank. I haven't really figured out how this all ties in. Oh. Even though it does look like a completion here, funnily enough. Let me show you what I mean. We started the reading with the Nine of Swords, and we're ending it with the Ten of Swords. And perhaps that was one way the world was answering that question for me, since I was just asking. I'm not sure how or whether or not this row here is even related to these set of cards, because I didn't get that feeling. But of course, I don't know everything. I don't know it all. However, I like to take funny happenings like this as somewhat of a sign. Yeah? Okay, let's try to make sense of this. Let's try to understand. Who is this Queen of Wands? What does she or he mean to you, Gemini? This is a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. Someone who's very enthusiastic, outgoing, outspoken, passionate. Someone who dresses really nicely as well and really knows how to present themselves to the world. Could this be you or someone you know on their wedding day or getting ready for their wedding day? Because really, church bells ringing with this set of cards here for me. The Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, which is abundance and luck and indulgence, really. Marriage. Well, the Hierophant also talks about marriage. So there is that. It's just inevitable here. And if any of you really are actually tying the knot, getting serious that way, even if you're getting engaged and thinking about getting married, and you've had that serious conversation with your partner, well then congratulations. It certainly is a very beautiful time to be celebrating commitments like that. I love it when it's Leo season, because obviously we're also enjoying summer and sun, so Leo season it brings out the best in everyone that way. It really helps you remember that joy is found in the comfort of your own happiness extended outwards, if that makes sense. I wish I could paint what I see in my mind right now. It's very beautiful. But I see a lot of celebration, happiness, and joy really come for you at least sometime now in summer. So try to seize the moment and make the most out of things, because I feel as though you could be holding yourself back from completing this Judgment and this Tower, and really putting to rest all the anxiety and issues, miseries that you've been facing for more than a year now. It is really just time to put an end to that, because the rest of this energy just will not allow for it. It would be such a waste to ruin the very strong potential you have here for securing that love, that passionate partnership that can grow to become a family, very solid one. It's merging of families here. You don't want your old karmic lessons to get, to catch up with you later on. Finality really is the only way to break or, resolve the residues that have come from all this burden. This is not to say that Geminis haven't been enjoying certain successes, but some of you may be on their way to achieving a lot more. So there's so much potential. You haven't capped your potential that way. You can wring out a lot of ideas. You still have many, many years left on you to basically do that. There are still a lot of stories that need to be written about you and your achievements. But your ideas maybe thus far haven't been the most realistic, perhaps, and it could be that reality has now caught up with you, where you need to address your values and what makes you happy, what it means to be committed to another person, and whether or not that entails sharing everything about yourself and your past, your history, the nitty-gritty, the nasty as well, so everything. Are you prepared to tie the knot and really say your vows, and among those vows being in sickness and in health, through the good and the bads, everything really. When two people merge and come together like that, what are they really feeling? What are you really experiencing when you utter those words to the person that you believe you want to spend the rest of your life with? Can the events of the Judgment and the Tower be avoided with this love of yours? Could it be that you are afraid history may repeat itself? There is no way out. Basically, you will always end up like this 10 of Swords person here, dead on a beach. Gemini. Such a convoluted reading, I must say, seriously. I mean, I'm not sure that I even made sense to myself. I want to wish you the best of luck in July. Don't get me wrong. I don't see anything actually bad happening as a result of these cards. There's nothing really to worry about in that sense, which is funny because we have worry right here with the 9 of Swords. But because I really just feel like these cards are justifying the awesomeness, seriously, awesomeness that we have going on down here. And it's just saying, Gemini, we know you've been through a lot. We would like to repay you now with granting your wishes, sending you more love, positivity, good energies, good vibes that way. So enjoy July, enjoy summer in general. If you are getting married again, congratulations. Thank you again for watching and for being here. So if you liked this video, thumbs me up. If you'd like to write me a comment or an email, to contact me, the link is below in the description box. And if you have not subscribed yet to this channel, but you enjoy watching my readings and catching up with me, despite my silliness sometimes. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. It's also the best way that you can support me. Until next month, Gemini, I love you guys. Take good care of yourselves.